Hello everybody, this is Lovable Hatsune Mickey here, and in today's video I want to talk to you guys about me being asexual and some of the things that people say to asexual people like us, and what it's like being asexual and how people discover asexuality and what asexual means in general. So without any further ado, let's just get right into the video. So what is asexual?
Adjective 1. Without sexual feelings or associations. Asexual individuals may still experience attraction, but this attraction doesn't need to be realized in any sexual manner. 2. Biology, of reproduction, not involving the fusion of gametes. Each polyp is capable of budding new polyps, though asexual reproduction in spring. Noun, a person who has no sexual feelings or desires.
Now let's talk about how I found out I was asexual. So it was around in high school, I think it was grade 9, and it was at lunchtime. This was with my old best friend at the time. We were talking and stuff, and she asked me what I was attracted to, and I said, I'm not attracted to either gender. And then she's like, well, what do you think about sex? And I was like, I don't care about sex. And then she asked me more questions, and then she's like, you're asexual. And I was like, well, what's asexual? Then she kind of explained it to me, and then I went home and then I did research of it, and I watched videos about people talking about their experiences about being asexual. And I was like, holy cow, I really am asexual. And I honestly love being asexual. It's amazing. And being asexual means you kind of get not treated differently, but people look at you in a very different way and they think there's something wrong with us. And I'll get into that shortly. And honestly, it's really annoying. So I'm going to tell you guys some of my experiences about what people have said to me and how they think about me, and probably how they think about all asexual people. So the most common thing you will hear if you are asexual is people will say, oh, you're not sexually active? Have you tried masturbating? Oh my god, it's so annoying hearing that from people. You will hear that all the time when you tell someone you are asexual. And they will probably give you a weird look, what's wrong with you? And another thing is that when you tell people you are asexual and saying that you don't like anything sexual or you don't want sex in your life, people might say, oh, well, they're just broken, or, oh, you're just scared and that you'll like it, and you're a late bloomer, don't worry, you'll have sex someday. Oh my god, never say that to an asexual person. That's so mean. I mean, I'm not trying to sound rude or anything, but why do you think we're asexual for a reason? Just because we don't like sex doesn't mean we're gonna have sex. No means no. And especially, don't say that we're broken. If you say that we're broken, we're gonna think that something's wrong with us, and really nothing is wrong with us. It's just the way we are. And honestly, if you think about it, this is my personal opinion, but when you're born in this world, if you think about it, we're all asexuals when we're born. We don't have any sexual desires or feelings for anyone until we get to a certain age. So if you really think about it, you're asexual in the beginning of your life until you get to a certain age where you start getting sexual feelings for people. Some people just don't change, and you just have to accept that. And I honestly hate it when people don't accept us for it. It's really annoying. Other things I've heard people say, they're from their experiences, that people will say, oh, well, you're too pretty to be asexual. What's that supposed to mean? Are asexual people supposed to be ugly? Because I don't think so. Who cares if we're asexual? Don't say that to a person who's asexual. That's really mean, actually. Why does it even bother you if we're asexual in the first place? God. Another thing that I will hear for being asexual is, well, have you ever tried masturbating? And honestly, it's so annoying hearing that from people. My roommate even said that to me. I have a new roommate, and she was talking to me about stuff, and she's saying that she has a boyfriend and stuff like that. And then she asked me if I had a boyfriend, and I was like, oh no, I don't like dating, I'm actually asexual. And she's like, what is that? And then I made her read it on my phone, and she gave me this look. She's like, oh. And then she was like, so you don't like sex or anything? Have you ever thought of considering masturbating or having sex in your life? And I was like, no. And then she's like, well, would you want to try? And I was like, no, I'm perfectly happy with my life. I don't need sex in my life to make me feel good. And then she's like, oh, okay. I could kind of tell that she was not disgusted in me, but she was like, you're missing out on a lot. And it's so annoying, you guys. I feel people have it in their mind that just because someone is a human being, whether if you're a boy or a girl or transgender or whatever, I feel everyone thinks that you have to have sex to be like everyone else. And I think it's just really annoying. especially asexual people, like, you know, when someone tells you, like, oh, well, you need to have sex and stuff like that in your life to make your life better, and it's like, no, I don't need sex in my life to make me feel good about myself or to give myself pleasure. Like, there are other things in life that make me happy, and it doesn't have to be sex, and it's really annoying, I swear to God. And that's kind of some of the reasons why I don't have a reason to date or any desire to date. And I know what you guys are thinking, oh, well, just because you're asexual doesn't mean you should stop dating. Well, first of all, I've never had any desire to date in the first place, and even if I was to date, it would be really hard because since I'm asexual, that means no sex in the relationship whatsoever, and I don't want any kids, so that's kind of another reason why I don't want to get married. And if I was ever in a relationship, like, if a guy was to tell me, like, I need to have sex with him to, like, fulfill his desire or something, like, no, like, we're not in a society where a woman has to be obedient and do what the man tells them to do. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, why the heck would I do that? Like, why would I be submissive to give a person what they want that I don't want? Like, that's not fair to me. So yeah, you kind of have to look at it both ways. No means no. If I don't want sex in my life or any relationship with sexual attraction or anything, then yeah, that's my life. Like, if you got a problem with it, like, shut your mouth and walk away or just say nothing at all. It's, like, really annoying. And I feel like people don't understand that about asexual people. Like, just because we don't want sex in our lives or want any sexual relationships, that doesn't mean we're bad people, and it doesn't mean that we're broken. And it's really hard to be asexual sometimes because it's something we have to face for the rest of our lives. Like, people are going to look down at us like we're broken or like we're stupid. And people are, of course, they're going to say that we need to have sex in our lives. And it's, no. Like, no, don't say that to an asexual person. Like, do research and try to get to know us a little bit better and stop judging us. Like, it's so annoying. Especially for my age, because I'm going to hear it for the rest of my life, and I'm going to have to explain to them why I have no desire. Like, it's nothing personal or anything. Like, I didn't have anything bad happen to me growing up. It's just the way I am. And if you can't accept it, then go away. And I feel like, in my personal opinion, I feel like the meanest thing you could say to an asexual is, like, if you're dating an asexual, like, oh, you don't want sex? I can't love you if you don't want sex. I feel like that's the meanest thing you could say to an asexual, in my personal opinion, especially if you were dating one or any asexual, really. Like, never say you can love an asexual just because they can't give you what you want. I feel like that's the lowest thing you could say to an asexual, and I hope people never say that to an asexual, because that's really mean. Like, if you can't accept us for being asexual, that's your problem. Like, don't say it if you have a problem with this. Like, that's all you gotta do. Like, asexual people are just like everyone else, just we have no sexual desire. Like, there's nothing wrong with us. We're just like everyone else, just we're a little bit different, that's all. I mean, half of the time people love me all the time anyways that I'm asexual, and people are really surprised when I tell them I'm asexual, but I don't think that should stop someone from liking me or any asexual, really. And I feel like people don't say that enough to people who don't understand asexuality. Like, don't stop loving me just because I'm asexual. I'm still the same person you've always loved. I just have a little bit of a different way of thinking about stuff, you know, that's all. And to anyone out there who is asexual and faces these challenges, I totally understand how you feel, because we all understand and we all go through the same stuff, and we all hear the dumbest stuff ever from people. It's so annoying. And I really wish people would open their eyes and, you know, understand that it's just the way we are, and that I'm never going to submit to someone and be obedient just to give them something they want. Like, it's not a desire I want. Like, people need to understand that, you know, it's almost 2020. Things are different. Times are changing. It's not in a society where the man is the leader of the household and the woman has to be obedient and submissive and give the guy what he wants. Like, no, like, I'm a woman. I'm allowed to think the way I want. And it's not just women that are asexual. Men can be asexual too. And I know what you guys are thinking, well, how do asexual people date? The same as you guys. Just like, I don't know, maybe some asexual might not be okay with kissing or holding hands, but it's kind of the same, just without no sex. And I think it's hard for asexual people to date because, you know, sex is a big part of a relationship and stuff like that. But really, if you can find someone who's okay with not having sex in a relationship and accepts you for who you are, then that's really great. I really wish there were more people like that, Because it feels like everyone is just brainwashed into thinking that sex is such an important part in a relationship. And I'm sure it is, but really, I don't really care about it, really. Like, if someone was to date me, it would honestly be like the same, just no sexual attraction to the person, and I just don't want sex. I would still love you the same way someone loves someone, just without sexual attraction. Like, who said being in a relationship has to be like everyone else's relationship? Like, be different, man. Like, don't be like everyone else. Like, don't think that just because you have to lose your virginity makes you cool. Especially, like, with teenagers. I feel like they think that if you have sex and lose your virginity, you think you're, like, cool all of a sudden. Like, really? That's just really weird to me. Like, I've never thought about that. Especially, like, when I see a teen girl, like, pregnant, like, on those TV shows, I'm just like, why did you do this to yourself? I mean, no offense to anyone who's a teen mom. Like, I understand and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, I don't know, I feel like people have a different way of thinking towards asexual people, and I think they really need to stop, because it's not fair to us, like, saying that there's something wrong with us for being that way. Like, that's like almost saying to a gay person, there's something wrong with you for liking the other gender. Like, no, there's nothing wrong with the way we are, or to anyone's sexuality, really. Like, I don't care if someone is bisexual, pansexual, gay, straight, even transgender. I don't care what your sexuality is or how you were born. Like, I'm still gonna like that person either way. Like, you just have to, like, shut up and accept the way people are. Like, my message to anyone who doesn't understand asexuality is love and tolerate. That's the best thing you could do to an asexual, is just to love and tolerate. Just accept them for the way they are, and don't push them into something they don't want to do, because really, that's just gonna make them even more, like, confused about their sexuality. And especially me, like, I used to kind of think like there was something wrong with me, but now that I know about asexuality, and like, I'm not the only person out there who's asexual, because believe me, asexual people are very hard to find. But thankfully, my best friend is also asexual, so she totally understands me. It was so funny, like, last year in college when she had a boyfriend, she was trying to explain to her boyfriend, and I was in my room, and she called my name, and I was like, what? And she's like, could you explain to him about being asexual? And I was like, you're an idiot. And well, I didn't really say that he was an idiot. I'm like, okay, listen up, and listen up well. So I kind of explained to him, like, my way, and he's like, oh, okay. And then she was like, thank you. And I was like, you're welcome. People just don't understand. It's so funny. It's kind of hilarious at sometimes. But yeah, anyone who's asexual, I'm so sorry that you have to go through the stuff that I probably have to go through. And that's just my personal experience. I mean, I don't know how other people treat asexuals in the world, but especially, like, with my mom, she thinks that I'm just going through a phase in my life, and it's really annoying. I'm like, Mom, I'm not going through a phase. Stop thinking I'm going to change and be like every other teen girl or every woman in the world. I'm not like that. God, it's so annoying. Like, the world is already populated. Why do you think I need to have sex and have a child? Like, I don't want any children in my life. Like, that's my decision. I don't want any sex or children or marriage in my life. I like being single, and in my opinion, I think the most fun people in the world are the single people, just my opinion. I want to be single. I want to have a dog named Gabriella, Boston Terrier. I want to make YouTube videos, and I just want to travel and have a good time and make a good amount of money and just have a fun life and just be single. And I know you guys are probably going to think I'm crazy. Well, how can you be single? That's, like, so lonely and blah, blah, blah. Like, you need love. Like, okay, I love my friends and stuff like that. That's enough love for me. Like, who says you have to be in a relationship to feel loved? Like, that's not really important to me, like, to be in a relationship just to feel loved. Like, as long as I know that my friends care and love me, that's enough for me. Like, I don't have to be in a relationship to feel loved or to feel happy. Like, I feel like sometimes people be in relationships just to feel happiness or to get something out of it. Like, I don't know, I like being single. You don't have to share your food with anyone, and you save up a lot of money, let me tell you. So yeah, those are kind of some of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about, like being asexual and what it means, and the stuff you probably should never say to asexual people. Like, please don't, it's really annoying. Just try to accept us and do the best you can to understand us and the way we are, and, you know, we're still the same people. We just think a little different, that's all. And never hate someone for being asexual or any sexuality, really. That's just not cool, and I just can't tolerate something like that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments if you know someone who is asexual, or if you are asexual yourself. That's really cool, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until then, I will see you next time. Goodbye!